welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom Airsoft. It's good to see you again. If it's your first time here, then as always, it is good to see you, and I hope you're going to stick around. Okay, well, welcome to our midweek video. Yeah, I know we're in the studio. Those of you who follow the channel already will know, normally midweek I will look to do a gameplay related video, and then at the weekend, normally on a Saturday, we'll do one of our studio videos like this one is today. And these videos will normally cover everything airsoft, unboxings, replica reviews, tech, gear, everything in between that's in our great sport and hobby airsoft. And then at Wednesdays we normally do gameplay. But this week I've been going through some of the footage I got from my last game, and obviously we had a gameplay video last week. But I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't happy with the footage. I didn't think it was particularly exciting gameplay footage, so I've scrapped it. And instead, we're going to do two studio videos this week. So we're going to have today, and we'll have another one on Saturday. So let's get that out of the way and get on with what we're doing. But just a quick explanation there of why we're back in the studio. Okay, well, today, what are we looking at? Well, this replica it's actually quite an old one now, guys. I've had this one for a while. I got hold of this replica at Airfest quite a few years ago. I got a good deal on it, and at the time I was really wanting an MP5. Now obviously you know what replica it is from the thumbnail, no doubt, but this is the G&G Top Tech GT Advanced TGM A5 replica. Bit of a gobful, isn't it, guys? So I think we'll just stick with calling it the A5 or the MP5 replica. And this one is from one of my favourite manufacturers, which is G&G. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions, but generally I've found G&G stuff to be pretty good quality, and yeah, with a few issues that plague all G&Gs, but on the whole, they're really well made and I like them. And that's why we're going to have a look at this one today, because I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this. I like the replica, but it has a little niggly bits on it that I don't like. Now normally I can't show you the box, but I can show you the box on this one, so that's why I've got it out. Now I've used this replica quite a few times in game. I think there's a video knocking about on the channel of me actually using it in game at my home site, Tazball Airsoft. So I'll see if I can find that video and I'll put a link to it in the description, and then you can see this thing in action on the field. If I haven't done a video with it in action on the field yet, then don't worry guys, because there will be a video with this in use, okay? So this replica, it's well, I'll get it out and show you. This replica is an MP5 replica, quite a modernised MP5 replica, as I'm sure you can agree. Got the folding stock, the 20mm rails up front and what have you. But basically it's based on the 9mm MP5 that's been in use in the firearm world all around the world with all sorts of forces, manufactured by H&K. So yeah, you're probably familiar with the MP5. It's been used in loads of films. It's been used in pretty much any computer game you can think of that involves firearms. So you're probably quite familiar with the MP5. Now I've noticed over the last year or so, there's been a bit of a resurgence on the airsoft field for the MP5 as well, which is nice because I kind of like it. I think it's a nice looking SMG. So yeah, so if you want to live out those SAS fantasies, or, you know, pretend like you're in a Die Hard film, the MP5 might be the replica for you. So how much are they? Well, this particular one is about £300 I could find it for here in the UK. I think the lowest you go down to is around about 270 British pounds, all the way up to about 300 British pounds. So from the affordable slant, yeah, it's not the most affordable one out there. And by the time we finish this review, you'll see why I'm looking at it. It's more of an overview, I suppose, than a review. But you'll see why I'm going over this one and the recommendation I'll make at the end of it, because it's definitely something I was a bit more frivolous on my spending. If you're over in the States, if you're in the USA, US pricing, I could find it not at a lot of places. I could find it for around about $400. So again, you know, not at the top end of costing, but certainly not what I would class as affordable. So yeah, about $400 for this particular one. Now what I will let you know is that the one I've got here is a slightly older version. They now do a top tech version of this that has an ETU and MOSFET pre-installed in there, the G&G ETU and MOSFET. Now that one is a little bit more expensive. That works out at around about 350 British pounds I could find that at. And again, similar in the States, I think the pricing is not much different, it's about $400, $420. Now, one thing I will tell you about the pricings I've got there, near enough every single supplier that I normally use is out of stock of these. I could not find stock of a G&G MP5 anywhere. So bear that in mind, guys. I won't put a link in the description as to where you can get one of these because, as I say, all the suppliers that I normally use are out of stock. So if you have a preferred supplier, or if you have a shop local to yourself, it might be worth asking one of them if they can put that on back order for you, if by the end of this introduction you do fancy one. Because yeah, it looks like you're going to have to back order one or see if they can get you one in, because everywhere does seem to be having stocking issues with these at the moment. Okay, so we've got the pricings, we know what it is. Let's run through this box very quickly and then we'll have a look at the replica. So the box, as with any G&G box, is really high quality, really well presented. Picture of the replica on the front, your usual bits and bats on the side saying it's G&G. The box is well fastened with clasps and tabs. When you get into the box, if I can get in it here for you guys, as you can see, it is really well packaged, really well presented, really well put together. You cannot complain about the packaging on a G&G, especially not on this one. It is really well put together. Everything comes in baggies. You get your warranty card in there, a little bit of a magazine. So yeah, the box on a G&G, if you know already, if you have any G&G replicas, you'll know yourself, guys, they do package their products really well, really professionally presented. It invokes an idea of quality, which I like. And I mean, look at that on the back, guys. They've really gone to town on it. So that's enough about the box anyway. You know my opinion if you follow the channel, guys. I'm not a big one on the boxes. Most boxes end up being kind of just plain cardboard most of the time. Probably use the box to rest the replica on while we look around it. So as we always do, I think the first things first, let's have a look around the replica. We'll have a quick nosy at it, see what you think of it looks wise. When I do you the show around the replica, guys, can you just ignore that for now? And I'll explain why that's there in a bit. Okay guys, bear with me. Okay guys, I hope you like that. I think it's quite a good looking replica. Definitely has a look of quality about it. So, before we get into that in more detail, let's have a chat about what you get in the box. Well, what you get in the box, you get the magazine and the warranty card as I mentioned, you get an instruction manual, you get an unjamming rod, you get these sections of 20mm rail included. You also get a claw mount, which is this 20mm mount here, which is absolutely imperative you have a claw mount if you want to mount an optic to an MP5. It's a bespoke system of mounting on there. So the good news is with this Top Tech one is you do get the claw mount included, which is great, and it's full metal. So that's included as well. And you also get one quick release sling mount, which is here. You can mount that on your quick release points wherever you prefer, but that is included. So that's nice as well. You get the quick release sling mount. Obviously you get the replica in there, and also you get one high cap MP5 9mm style magazine like this one, which is lovely. It looks the part. I'll put that in for you if you'd like to see it in there. There you go. So that's your MP5 mag. You get that included as well. So that's all you get in the box. Quite a bit of stuff. Pretty cool. Good stuff. One thing I would mention is, as you've probably noticed guys, my particular one here has the folding stock. You don't have to get it with the folding stock. You can get one of these with a solid stock. You can also get one with the retractable stock. And obviously you get it with a skeletonized folding stock. I went for the skeletonized folding stock because I thought it looked cool. If you ever want to change these stocks out, you can buy alternative stocks, and it is a single pin at the bottom here to slide the stock off, so that's not hard to do. I kind of wish I'd gone with the solid stock, but again, I'll get into that in just a minute, okay? Now, while we're on the stock, this stock, the folding stock on mine and the mount for the stock here is all polymer. This is all polymer. The lower receiver here is polymer, but again, it's the usual G&G quality polymers. They're really good quality. They're really solid. At the front here, your handguard, that is polymer. However, these 20mm rails that are mounted to the handguard, they are metal. Your upper receiver, all of this here is metal. Your claw mount, as I say, is metal. The charging handle is metal. You can HK slap it. I've done it a few times. Whether it will break or not, that's hard to say. I've done it loads of times. It hasn't broke on me yet, and it is good quality steels, but I probably wouldn't keep doing it. As you can see as well, it opens the mock exhaust port there, the ejection port, and that is where your hop up is. If you can make that out on camera, guys, little slider there, normal MP5 hop adjustment. You slide that back and forth to make your hop adjustments. You can lock that back as with any MP5, and as you probably all want to see, you can do the MP5 slap, or the HK slap as it were. All of the upper here is metal. All of your pins are metal, your trigger is metal, magazine is full metal. So everything that should be metal on an MP5, on a firearm MP5, is metal on this MP5. And let me stress guys, the construction on this is superb. They haven't cut any corners on the build of this at all. It feels really nice in the hand. It is quite heavy. It's metal where it should be. The paint job on it is good quality. The metals are good quality, and the polymers are the usual good quality G&G polymers. As part of the build, you will get these full metal iron sights included should you not want to run an optic. It's the usual diopter at the back with this rotating drum and a fixed post at the front. You've got your mock gas adjustment on the front there as well. You have a sling mount at the front here as well, which is solid, and along with a sling mount here on the magazine hook. You also have your quick release sling mount option either side. So multiple slinging options guys, depending on how you want to mount the sling. Now obviously on mine here I have a red dot mounted on it on a riser. That won't come with the replica, and I also have a front grip here, as you've probably noticed. That also will not come with any replica that you purchase from them. Oh, let's take that mag out for now. With regard to the magazine, as I say, that's full metal as well, and it's a high cap with the door at the top, winding wheel on the bottom. So the usual affair. The flash hider on the front here is metal. That is quick release. That can be removed. Underneath there you have 14mm counterclockwise threads, or you have the traditional MP5 silencer mounting. So you've got options for tracer units, suppressors, moderators, whatever you prefer on there. There are options for that. The sights, yeah, they're fine. If you just want to run normal open or iron sights, they work really well, to be fair, guys. As I say, the rear is adjustable and they do work. The front is adjustable. Your magazines, paddle release. You do also have the option of a button, if you can make that out there, guys. That is a button release that will also release your magazine, but I have quite large hands and there is no way I can press that button. So, I mean, you might be able to do it yourself, but it does not work for me. Ambidextrous controls as well, guys. Your selector switch here is on both the left and right side of the replica, so it's good for lefties and righties. As I say, your adjustment for hop-up is only on the right side, so the sling can be mounted either side though as well. So that, you know, it is a really nice ergonomic replica. The stock folds without an issue and locks away. If you want to make it even smaller, you can get the retractable stock again, which will retract in, make it even smaller. The fixed stock, well, yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Now, one of the other features of this replica is it does have pneumatic blowback. So as you fire the replica, the ejection port will open and close to simulate the bolt opening and closing. To me, guys, that's a bit of a gimmick. I've never really noticed that you can feel any particular recoil in it. There's a little bit of movement in the replica, but not what I would class as simulated recoil. It's certainly not on gas blowback levels. What they do assure you is that pneumatic blowback does not hinder the performance of the V2 gearbox that's mounted within this replica, because it uses excess air from the system rather than being attached, as some are, to your tappet plate or to your piston. It is just bled off air pressure that drives that blowback back, hence the reason they call it pneumatic blowback. Now, to me, I honestly think it's just something that makes it more awkward to work on, and also, guys, it doesn't really make any difference. If you like it, you like it. Me, I wouldn't pay extra to have that feature, to be honest. If I wanted blowback, get a gas blowback. But the feature is there, so if you want the pneumatic blowback, it works. I can confirm it works. It definitely works. Some of the guys up at my home site there, they like it. They think it's great. They think it's quite a nice feature having that in there. So that's like I said, to me, it's not something I'm particularly bothered about. I don't think it really adds to the overall feel of the replica. The mag, let's get onto that a bit as well. The magazine that comes with it is a high cap from G&G. Now, I don't know if any of you guys out there have encountered any problems with G&G high caps before, particularly 9mm high caps. If you have an ARP9 like myself, I find that the G&G ARP9 high caps have major problems with misfeeding after you've had them a while. They don't feed very well at all, and that's why I recommend using the drum mag with the ARP9. Now, I've had the same problems with this G&G MP5 magazines. They don't feed well at all, the high caps. After a while they start to misfeed. You're okay on semi, not so good on full auto. So yeah, I think the magazines need work. The mid caps are fine. Also, while we're on that, magazine compatibility, guys. This thing is very picky about magazines. I tried some Cyma magazines, which by all rights are supposed to be very good magazines. In my particular MP5 from G&G, those Cyma magazines physically will not fit into the receiver. They won't go into the mag well. They're too big. You cannot fit them in. You'd have to file out either loads of the magazine or loads of the mag well to get them to fit. They're miles off. But on the other hand, from the research I've done, there are other people that have one of these, and Cyma mags have fit absolutely fine in their G&G MP5. So go figure on that one. What I have found is that the officially licensed H&K ones, the VFC or Humorex ones, will fit in this. And they feed more reliably than the G&G ones. A player I encountered at a gathering once, he advised me that he had one of these and he now uses the drum mag, because they do an MP5 drum mag as well. And he uses that because of the same problems he had as me with both my ARP9 and this MP5, that the high caps just do not feed. So he moved over to a drum mag. So the drum mag is an option on this. You can go for that. So that's the problem that I was going to mention about the magazines. It's one of my niggles. As I say, I have a love-hate relationship with this replica. I mean, look at it. It's an absolutely gorgeous looking replica of an MP5. It functions brilliantly, guys, you know, but and it feels great. It's well made. But I figure let's get these niggles out of the way first, and then you know why I have a love-hate relationship with it, okay? So next, I think what we'll look at is, why is this here? Well, obviously, as you guys can probably gather, that is not something that G&G do. That's something I've added on. And the reason for that is I have a PEC box that fits over this rail here, covering the complete side of it. And these wires, there's a hole in the PEC box so that these wires are hidden within it. And that's where I put my battery, guys. So the battery is hidden completely away. You don't see these wires at all when I'm using this replica, because they are totally hidden within a dummy PEC box there that has my batteries in it. Now, you may be wondering why I do that to a relatively expensive replica and drill a hole in the handguard for that to come through. One simple reason, guys: the battery fitment on this replica is an absolute nightmare. It nearly made me sell it. I got that frustrated putting the batteries in. It's simple to get at. Basically, all you have to do is draw the pin out at the front here in order to get this handguard off, and then the handguard slides forward and off. You see, I don't even make that out in camera, guys. There's a pin there that you push through and it comes out this side, and then the handguard slides off forward like this. Now, I'm not going to do it now because I've got all my wires set up, but take it from me, guys, it looks like you've got space in that handguard, but honestly, you don't, because you've got the lower portion of the outer barrel and receiver, and you've got to get your battery either side. Now, I thought battery fitment would not be a problem, but it really is. I've actually split wires trying to get batteries into this, because you have to slide the handguard back the way to get that pin back through, and on sliding it back, you're trapping wires and you're trapping your battery. And take it from me, guys, it is an absolute nightmare. If you've got more patience than me, then maybe you'll be okay. But in my case, I got that fed up of fiddling around putting batteries in. I rewired it so that I could have a PEC box on the 20mm rail here, and I could wire in. Battery changes are an absolute breeze now. They're so easy. So that is why those wires are dangling about loose, because I could have mounted the PEC box for this review, but I thought I want to be honest with you guys and show you the lengths I went to make battery changes easier on this. And that is why I mentioned about the solid stock. This is front wired, guys. If you get the solid stock versions, they're rear wired, and you've got a whole solid stock here in which to put your battery. Will make your life a million times easier. So if I was getting one of these again, I'd get one with a full stock. I would not get one with the folding stock, unless obviously you're happy doing that. I would certainly go for the full stock. So that's another one of my problems with this replica, and as I say, that problem was nearly a deal breaker. Made me want to sell the thing. Did my nuts. But let's have a look at the final problem here. This is a slightly older version. They do a new version of this now. Now, this one did not come with a MOSFET or an ETU. Now, at the price of a minimum of about 280 British pounds, you'd expect a MOSFET or an ETU fitted on there. This had neither. So there is no MOSFET fitted to this. I have done no work to this replica yet, apart from altering the wiring so the batteries were easier to fit. There's no MOSFET in this, and there's no ETU. and I've had it like that for quite some time. For that reason, I only run 7.4 volt LiPos, or more recently 7.4 volt lithium ion batteries in this replica. But with that being said, the performance is superb, guys. The hop up, very effective. This will easily hop a 0.3 gram BB. I use 0.25 gram BBs in my games, and the range is awesome. It's got really, really good range, guys. It reaches out a long way. It's consistent. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to shoot. So that is the biggest thing I can say about it. It's an absolute pleasure to shoot. As I say, the blowback, if you're into that, great. If not, it doesn't take anything away from the performance of the replica. It shoots well, it's accurate, it's got good range, good consistency, and it hits well as well. I think it shoots about 300 feet per second on a 0.2, maybe just a bit over, but don't let that put you off, guys. Even with that relative FPS, it still reaches out a long way and it shoots really well. So all the problem is you've got to make sure you get a decent feeding magazine. As I say, with a drum mag on this, it'd probably feed absolutely great. Or if you try alternative magazines, it would feed great as well. So as I say, the feeding issues, the battery fitment issues. Now the battery fitment issues are more specifically to this one with the folding stock or the one with the slide-in stock, I'd imagine, when you've got a front mount battery. And also I've got the 20mm rail handguard. If you maybe get one with a full-size handguard, you might have a bit more space for front-mounted batteries. But for me, that's been an absolute killer. But the shooting, fantastic. It shoots absolutely great, guys. The range is awesome. Like I say, I'll try and put a link in the description to the gameplay video where I'm using this in the field, because it did run really well for me. Feel of the replica, as with any MP5, it feels great in the shoulder. Controls are easy to get at, and they have a nice solid click to them, and they're also ambidextrous. If you're used to a G36, you'll be well used to using these controls because they're pretty much the same. The charging handle has a really good feel to it, makes a really good sound. As with any G&G, some of the bolts, some of the fittings, like the Allen key bolts, this claw mount, make sure you keep them oiled up, guys, because they do have a nasty habit of tarnishing if you play outside, as I do, and these replicas get wet. But apart from that, guys, you know, that is the G&G Top Tech. If you were to get the newer one, if you can get hold of one, that does come with an ETU and MOSFET, so you won't have the issues that I was mentioning about it not having those. As I say though, even without it, I'm still more than happy with the performance of this replica, and it runs really well on a 7.4 volt battery. So what can we take away from this, guys, on this overview of this G&G Top Tech MP5? Well, what I would take away is, guys, is it might be a bit of a shocker, but if I was going to buy an MP5 replica right now again, I'd probably buy a Cymer. Sounds bad, but they're a lot more affordable. A lot of my friends at Airsoft run them, and to be honest, guys, they might be missing the pneumatic blowback, and yeah, maybe the build quality isn't quite as good as this. However, there's not much in it, and if you get one of the Platinum Series ones or the Blue Editions, the Cymer MP5s are great. They have a wealth of options available, and you're not going to have any of the magazine fitment issues that I've encountered here. Pretty much any magazine will fit in that. So a lot of advantages, guys, the Cymer MP5s. There's loads of aftermarket parts for them as well. So as I say, the stocks, you've got multiple stocks and handguards you can choose from with the Cymer MP5s if you're going to want to alter it. So yeah, ultimately what I would say, guys, is I really like this. As I say, love-hate. It's really well put together. It's really high quality. Just those niggles for me have put me off over the years. I don't run this replica very often because of the magazine compatibility issues, because of the fiddly battery. Fiddly battery not so much a problem for me anymore with my modifications, but it's not good when you have to do that kind of thing to just make it so you want to use it. So that's what I would take away, guys. If you're fancying an MP5 and you want something with extreme build quality, then this G&G Top Tech could be for you. On the other hand, if you want the look of an MP5, build quality that isn't really far off this, to be honest, and a lot more fitment options, I go with a Cymer. So there you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that quick look over the G&G Top Tech MP5. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have been enjoying my series of videos, which I hope you have, guys, then do get subscribed to the channel. That way you won't miss any of my uploads. If you want any more content from myself, you can find Rock Bottom Airsoft on Facebook and Instagram. There's pictures and things on there. I try and update things I'm up to on there as well in the airsoft world. And as I say, if you ever do have any questions for me about airsoft or about anything I've had a look at in general, then do drop a comment below, guys. I'll always respond to comments. I might not get back to you straight away, but I will always respond. But ultimately, I hope you enjoyed that quick overview of that. And thank you very much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.